modern era, we kind of forget where we are in the world. And, if we had to fight animals for food, we had to compete for animals with food, we would get our butts kicked half the time, I think. But in a general sense, if you can look at every day as a competition with yourself to, if you're looking for a physique transformation, to be the best you possible that day, it's just about consistency, day in and day out.
Sure.
Compete with yourself to eat that thing.
We've taken survival. You no longer have to be the fittest to survive.
Right.
And that's unique. I think, it's kind of like that thing, like we're the only being that drinks another cow's milk or another animal's milk.
Yeah.
We're also the only species that I know on the planet that doesn't have to be the fittest to survive. I see people surviving very well. In modern medical technology, so you could. I mean, there's a whole nother topic there, like whether that helps or hurts us.
Well, what about just?
And I'm not just talking about physically.
Right? What about dying of old age? That's natural causes, quote unquote natural causes. There's not one wild animal or other species on the planet that dies of old age. They get eaten because they get old, they get injured, and they get eaten, or they whatever. They die of starvation.
They break a leg. They break a leg and they.
We break a leg, we cast it, and we're good to go in a couple months. But so that's another thing, is that we are built to be far more hardy than we are. We are built to be a little bit more primal than we are. And there's a good thing about modernization and increased technologies. Of course, I like my life. I'm sure you guys love your lives, and I'm sure all our clients do as well. No one wants to go back and live in the caveman days. We're getting better as time goes on. But the fact remains is our system is the same system as our ancestors were, as those thousands of years ago, as those cavemen were, as Homo sapiens were. It's a very black and white issue, is that you need to treat your body as it was meant to be treated. We have not evolved yet. It's only been within the past 150 years of modern agriculture that we even can have grocery stores, that we even have refrigeration. I used to hear stories of my great-grandmother telling me about the icemen coming around and dropping off ice so that they could keep their food cold and keep meats and keep those things. And today that sounds crazy. Like you had to wait for someone just so you could keep meat in your house or keep those things fresh. And that's a real part of human history that was very recent. That was my great-grandmother. Yeah, I was around when she was around. So our systems take tons of time to adapt, hundreds upon thousands of years. And studies and scientists are well on the way of really pinpointing how long it does take to evolve. And we're nowhere close to evolve.
I just want to make one last point, really, in that a lot of people, they start, and it's hard. You mentioned that, it's hard. And they're like, when is it going to get easier? The sad thing is, and it's not sad, it's not meant to
I'm going to make it harder. I'm just going to make it harder.
It's never going to get easy.
Adaptation.
It will never be easier.
But you will enjoy it.
But yes.
If you allow the process,
right,
it will become something that you seek. Like I want to get. I only got 6 pull-ups. I only got 6 pull-ups. I want 10. I want 12.
And this is a real personal issue for me. Now I think you guys know, I don't talk about it a lot, but when I was 17 years old, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor. And at that time, I lifted weights and I did all these things, and luckily I had my health, I had good doctors and they resolved that issue for me. But what I noticed was after that, things got the volume turned down a bit for me. And I kind of put in perspective what was really important for me. And to me, that importance was being healthy, because I felt like what it was to really be unhealthy and to actually have a sickness and illness. And a lot of people go through that. We have some clients with special cases, and I'm sure they can relate. But the thing that really helped me through those tough times, and to make me not think about things, and Reggie always give me crap about it, about stop talking, you talk too much. My brain goes. And for me, working out and exercising extremely hard is something that kind of puts me at peace, because you are no more in the moment when you're going through 100% physical exertion. You're not thinking about bills you have to pay. You're not thinking about your kids. You're not thinking about your spousal issues. You're not thinking about anything. All you're thinking about is get this weight up one more time. And if you're working out hard enough and you're focused in, and all you hear is Coach Craig yelling at you to do one more rep, or you can do it, or whatever it is, you're going to be so in that moment that when you accomplish and you're done with that workout, when that buzzer goes off and you get that final rep, you're going to be saying to yourself like, it's like a complete it's almost like feeling nirvana, at least for me. And I know
Nerve dump. It's like it's a brain dump.
It feels great. And when people who come to us and have never experienced that, and the first time they do, it's like this cathartic experience for them. And like I've had clients who've cried, who are like, I never thought I could do this. And once they realize, like, okay, I need to give myself some time. It's some me time. And every time they come in, like I let them know, like, hey, I'm gonna kick your butt today. And they're like, good, let's get it. And those are the best clients. Those are the clients that have the most success. They just turn off that brain. They let us do the thinking for them, and they accept what we're telling them is gonna work, because it does work and has worked and continues to
And
work.
it's not that I'm saying that one is right and one is wrong. All right, I think that people have to get to that point, and until you've experienced it, you don't understand it. You don't understand how something can be so hard that it's good. That is
I can
totally.
explain it to you, but I can't understand it.
I can explain it to you, but I
Exactly.
can't understand
You
it.
have to feel it, and you have to give yourself a chance to feel it, and that's kind of the point.
Because you don't get there in a day.
No, and
And
that's
you don't get there in a week.
And that's kind of the
Because
point.
at first, and if I can say anything to maybe someone who's either hasn't started yet or has just gone through their first week or their first 2 weeks, is that it gets better. What I think is the coolest is when we have a new lady starting boot camp, and she comes in on day 2 and she's got the Frankenstein walk because her quads just are killing her, and we've all been there. You know what I mean? And the girls, the other girls in class say, hey, don't worry, it's about a week and then you're cool. And like they're like, yeah, you're crazy. And then next 2 weeks later, they're telling the next girl that's coming in like, oh, this hurts so bad. They're like, hey,
that was me last week.
that was me last week. It's cool.
Yeah.
You're gonna like this. And then they're looking at it like, people are crazy. Like, if I'm gonna feel like this.
What's even crazier is after you've done it for a while and you remember that feeling, when you get, and if that ever happens and you get that again, you feel kind of like, I must have really worked
I
out.
rocked
And
it.
You feel like, you feel a sense of accomplishment.
Yes.
Like, I'm sore like I did the first day. You guys did a great job.
I think just like to end it off, that is something that, not that soreness means that you gotta go work out or
Right.
not got a good workout. You can certainly get a great, terrific, beneficial workout with not getting crazy sore. But it's one thing to, especially the fitter you are, I think it applies more. The more fit you are, and if you continue to kind of see those little, you wake up in the morning, you get out of bed like, ooh, my back, I did those deadlifts yesterday, my back's a little sore. That's a good indication that you're still working hard. You haven't got complacent in your fitness. You haven't got complacent in your results and progress, which is, I think, again, I have my routine. I get on a treadmill, I lift my 10
Lift my
pounds
10 pound
every
weight,
day,
and
and
do
I
my-
leave, whatever it is. And it's never about getting that routine. I just think that's fantastic.
That was a great discussion, guys.
That was. And
Strong as sexy.
Strong as sexy, man.